Hello and welcome to 2024. So this is my first podcast recording of the year, and I thought I'd start off by letting you know what I did over the summer break. So my children are now young adults, and so I nominated a budget and asked them to choose an Airbnb that they would be happy to share with us for the holidays. So they chose a place that was high on the hill in Elanora, which is south of the Gold Coast, and it backed onto a koala corridor. So there were very tall trees that the koalas could inhabit behind the house that we were staying in. The house was about a 6-minute drive from Palm Beach, which has a huge off-leash dog beach. So one side, it was kind of like a sort of a triangle, and one side there's calm waters of the Currumbin Creek, and then on the other side you have the waves of the Pacific Ocean. And Chester, our border collie, was in heaven, and he enjoyed swimming with us on the beach every day. He's such a good swimmer, and he just loved running up and down the beach and swimming with us and playing with us. So it was really joyous time for us. Unfortunately, the day before we arrived, a tornado actually hit the area where we were stayed. So the house we were staying in was untouched, but you can kind of see the route that the tornado took, and some massive trees, like with a trunk the size of a truck, had been completely uprooted, and sort of as we were driving along we saw a lot of the devastation, but fortunately, as I said, the house we were staying in was fine. The weather was wonderful for us while we were there, and then hours after we left, the Gold Coast was hit by another terrible storm. So very unfortunate for them. A lot of storms, a lot of sort of weather happening at the moment, unfortunately. But for us, for our time there, we were very lucky. It was hot and the beach was the perfect place to be, so we were very lucky there. And we had a lovely time there. And then on the sort of the second part of the holiday, I went inland to a regional area called Crow's Nest, and I stayed on my friend's property. So a friend from university I know, they had a chocolate lab called Maisie. So Chester was happy playing with Maisie in the bushland property that they had there. Chester is a herder, and Maisie's sort of a Labrador who's just happy to be with anyone. So Chester kept trying to herd Maisie as well as trying to herd all of us. But eventually he calmed down and was able to play nicely with Maisie. And it was great for that break to have the opportunity of such diverse nature retreats over the break. On a personal note, and I'm not sure if I've mentioned this before, just before the holidays began, I was diagnosed with something called vitreous detachment in my right eye. So it's like a big floater in my right eye, and apparently it's a natural phenomenon that happens to everyone, and some people notice it in their eye, and some people don't. And it appeared about 2.5 months ago, and apparently I have to wait for my brain to get used to it and stop seeing it there, and then it will disappear once my brain is used to it. So every so often, like at the moment, I can't see it, but then 30 seconds ago I could see it. So it's very frustrating. As someone who works on the computer and uses her eyes on the computer every day, it is very frustrating. So I'm very grateful that apparently it will resolve itself in a short period of time. So after sort of that break and holiday time, the following quiet period that we have here in Australia gave me a chance to catch up on some admin. And I actually got through all of the admin paper and email backlog. Can you believe it? I can't believe it. I actually did. I cleared out paper from everywhere. I actually opened up letters postmarked 2022. So we're in 2024 now, and I dealt with some email from 2022 as well. So how terrible am I? I'm just very focused on when I'm working on something, I work on that, and sort of everything else kind of falls to the wayside. So but at least I'm through it now. I had a bit of an office makeover, as you can see at the back here. I have 2 massive IKEA Billy shelving units put in, so you'll see me in webinars, etc., with my background and see how it's changed. I did spend far too much time decorating the shelves with all of my accounting technology mementos, books at the bottom, a few plants here and there, and lots of crazy mementos I've picked up along the way. Another thing I did was I updated my website. One of the conference organisers said I look nothing like the long-haired, grey-haired lady on the website. So I've added some recent videos and photos. The website is not perfect yet. I'm still tinkering with it, but you can check it out if you visit heathersmithau.com and then click back on the homepage. I wasn't able to get the domain Heather Smith, unfortunately, but there you go. Let me know if you've got any feedback. Everyone's always got feedback, don't they? I'm trying to streamline what I do, and I made the decision to rebrand the podcast and the community to the same name as the newsletter, which is the Accounting Apps newsletter. So it seems to make a lot of sense to call that the Accounting Apps newsletter. So it'll be the Accounting Apps newsletter, it'll be the Accounting Apps podcast, and it'll be the Accounting Apps community. I think this will minimize confusion and help people find one and then bounce across to the other once they've found it. And people digest information in different ways, and the community might be a way for them, or the podcast might be a way, or the newsletter might be a way. So the Cloud Stories podcast, what you're listening to now, is rebranding as the Accounting Apps podcast. I've also made the decision, and I've not made it lightly, to include advertising in both the newsletter and in the podcast. I've tried for a long time to avoid that, and I have mixed feelings about it, but I guess if I'm dealing with 2-year-old emails over the holiday break, I'm not managing myself well, and additional income helps me surround myself with additional resources to support what I do. So, of course, let me know what you think about that. Many wonderful people have reached out to congratulate me on being elected to the ACCA Global Council. However, I wasn't actually elected. Unfortunately, I didn't receive the necessary number of votes to be elected. I was short about 200 votes. And I did post about this online and thanked everyone for their support. And to clarify that I wasn't elected, but still people commented in the post congratulating me on being elected. So social media is funny, isn't it? But no, I wasn't elected. I decided that my word or theme for this year is storyteller. As you know, I love accounting. I'm a chartered accountant who very much likes writing, and the new shelves that I have on one side, the bottom 2 shelves are full of books and magazines I've written, and on the other side, the bottom 2 shelves are full of journals I've yet to write in. I'm a bit addicted to collecting journals to write in, so if you see me at a conference, don't tempt me with your journal swag, as I have enough of it. So this year I'm embracing that I'm a storyteller for the accounting industry, and the most impactful contribution I can make to the community is to share our stories. So what else can I tell you about? I'm confirmed as a speaker for the Festival of Accountants and Bookkeepers in Birmingham, which is most importantly known as the home of Duran Duran. If you're in England and attending, I look forward to connecting with you. I'm confirmed as a speaker at the Tropical Innovation Festival in Cairns. I'll put links to both events up on social media. If you or you know someone who wants me to speak at their international event, please reach out. I'm pretty easy to find. So yesterday I interviewed David Boyer, CEO of Change GPS, about the news that the Access Group has acquired Change GPS. So that shall be the next episode that drops after this one. So I hope you enjoy it. So let me know if you've got any thoughts on what I've shared with you, and I wish you health and happiness in 2024.